After these things Paul departed from Athens and went to Corinth. And he found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome. And he came to them. Then because he was of the same trade, he stayed with them and worked. For by their trade they were tentmakers. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath, and persuaded both Jews and Greeks. But when Silas and Timothy had come from Macedonia, Paul was compelled by the Spirit, and testified to the Jews that Jesus is the Christ. And when they opposed and blasphemed, he shook his garments and said to them, "Your blood be upon your own heads. I am clean. From now on I will go to the Gentiles." Then he departed from there and entered the house of a certain man named Justus, one who worshipped God, whose house was next to the synagogue. Crispus, the ruler of the synagogue, believed on the Lord with all his household, and many of the Corinthians, hearing, believed and were baptized. Then the Lord said to Paul in the night by a vision, "Do not be afraid, but speak, and do not keep silent, for I am with you, and no one will attack you to hurt you, for I have many people in this city." And he continued there 1 year and 6 months, teaching the word of God among them. But when Gallio was proconsul of Achaia, the Jews with one accord rose up against Paul and brought him to the judgment seat, saying, "This man persuades men to worship God contrary to the law." But when Paul was about to open his mouth, Gallio said to the Jews, "If it were a matter of wrong or wicked lewdness, O Jews, reason would be with you. But if it is a question of words and names, and your own law, look to it yourselves, for I will be no judge of such matters." And he drove them from the judgment seat. Then they all took Sosthenes, the ruler of the synagogue, and beat him in the presence of the judgment seat. But Gallio cared for none of these things. Now Paul, having remained many days, took leave of the brethren and sailed for Syria, and with him Priscilla and Aquila, having shorn his head at Cenchrea, for he had a vow. And he came to Ephesus, and left them there. But he himself entered the synagogue and reasoned with the Jews. When they asked him to stay longer time with them, he did not consent, but took leave of them, saying, "I must by all means keep this coming feast in Jerusalem, but I will return to you if God wills." And he sailed from Ephesus. When he arrived at Caesarea, he went up and greeted the church, and went down to Antioch. After he had spent some time there, he departed and went over the region of Galatia and Phrygia in order, strengthening all the disciples.